The water of the Bow River always runs cold. It begins as meltwater from the Bow Glacier, which drains first into Bow Lake before flowing south through Lake Louise, Banff, Canmore, and on to Calgary, where in late August the heat of early morning causes a cold mist to rise from the fast-flowing waters. On this morning, after 8 months of planning and preparation, 3 cyclists and their support group are getting ready to start a 7-day journey that will take them in stages through the Rocky Mountains to Vancouver. The plan is to raise as much money as possible for a local nonprofit organization, the Society for the Treatment of Autism. The Western Ride for Autism was created by Nancy Bacon, whose son is autistic. Although she'll be joined by 2 friends she has known for about 2 years, every detail has been arranged, every aspect negotiated, every element almost solely the creation of Nancy Bacon.
The actual moment I decided I was going to kind of do this and the idea sort of formed in my head, I was in my car driving home from a friend's place one night, and we had been talking about negotiations, and he was joking with me that night, and he was sitting there saying to me, and just as a joke, he's like, "You have a superpower and you need to use your powers." It was a funny joke, and I thought about it more, and I'd already been doing small things for the Autism Society on an anonymous level, and I knew that Society for Treatment of Autism, or STA, needed help. They needed money, and I was sitting there in my car trying to think, okay, what can I do to make a lot of money? I was thinking, well, maybe I'll run to Vancouver. It was always going to be Vancouver because that's where my son is. And I thought, no, running, that'll take too long. Then I'm thinking, well, cycling's quick and it's kind of challenging, and I've never really cycled before aside from a mountain bike on a trail that maybe 20 kilometers. So I thought, yeah, that'll be hard, that'll be fun, people like that. And as it was, I was meeting up with my girlfriend Candace, and she had recently married this bar owner. And he instantly, he's like, "Oh, I'm coming with you. You can't do that by yourself."
I'm feeling like I want to get on my bike and ride. I'm feeling like I've got my body in probably the best condition that I can get for this ride, and I'm gearing up to go.
So I was like, you know what, actually, I think, more people would be good. And then Patty, who's an actor, he was actually working at the bar named Sue at the time.
It's been a long time coming. Kind of be good to actually get started and see how we do. We've got a lot of support, obviously, that's apparent. So, yeah, looking forward to it.
And he's a fun-loving character, and he was like, "I don't want to be left out. I want to come too. I want to ride to Vancouver."
We're very thrilled to be a part of this, and we're very excited for this team to forge ahead and just do what they can do for autism. We're very proud to be connected with this. I'd just take a moment now to introduce Andre Chabot, the unofficial deputy mayor for the city of Calgary, to bring greetings on behalf of the mayor. Andre?
Hey, it's all good to me. Well, I'm honored to be here on behalf of Mayor and Mayor Dave Roncogne and my fellow members of City Council, specifically to support this initiative. Letter of recognition. On August 25th, today, precisely 9 a.m., 3 Calgarians will begin a 1,000-kilometer bicycle trip to Vancouver to raise money for kids with autism. The goal of the Western Ride for Autism is to raise more than $1 million and encourage Calgarians to give children with autism hope by supporting a Western Ride for Autism, signed Mayor Dave Roncogne, Mayor of Calgary.
8 months of lining up sponsors and contributors, arranging hotel accommodations at each stop, the support RV, the signs on the RV, the two-way radios, an almost endless list of details for what is, essentially, a bike ride. The fact that it will take them through some of the most difficult, dangerous, yet beautiful terrain in the country has yet to really set in. They enjoy one of the last flat stretches of highway before the foothills rise ahead of them, an introduction to the mountain ranges beyond, and 1,000 unknown kilometers of Canada's Highway 1 West.
Riding under an open sky, mountains reaching up so high, 3 for the road, 7
along and you round a corner and the wind hits you and it literally just stops you in your tracks. You'll be going downhill and you have to pedal.
Yeah, if you were to ask us if there's one thing we could eliminate, it would be the wind. It's frustrating to put the power output that we put in and get little back because the wind is actually pushing you backwards.
From time to time, you'll hear Brad or Nancy talk about the similarities and differences that exist between the three riders who have come together to form this team.
I think what makes this journey interesting is that we are pretty average folk. I mean, we're not athletes. We don't do this for a living. We've just tried to get our bodies in best physical condition to attempt this.
Every now and then we'll ride side by side and chat, and we like to play on our radios too. That's always fun. But when you're going up a hill or you kind of get into a zone, you sort of want to go on your own pace. And because of my bad knee, I mean, the boys got to keep their own pace just to keep their momentum going.
It is the first time Nancy has mentioned her knee. On day one, it is a minor concern, but it is there, like a grain of sand under the skin. A constant irritant, a constant reminder that this whole endeavor could end at almost any moment.
You're dealing with 3 different people that haven't trained together a lot on bikes. We've got different muscle structures right now, and I'll have a burst of energy maybe when these guys don't, and vice versa. And I think.
And your boys.
Well, we were all rotating. There was a time when I was carrying up the end. There was a time when Brad was carrying up the end, and then Nancy was carrying up. We were switching around.
Yeah.
And yeah, sometimes you just get into the zone and you don't want to talk.
Of course, we timed it so that we had our lunch, filled our bellies, and then hit the wind. We couldn't even tuck down to streamline, so we just had to be big kites in the wind and slow right down.
The riders welcome the police escort into the picturesque mountain tourist town of Banff. Day one has proven an easy start, and they've arrived at a destination they have often used in their practice runs while training for this journey.
Typically when I've done the Banff ride and the training runs, my knee would start hurting around Kananaskis, Dead Man's Flats. This time it didn't actually start going really evil on me until after Canmore, so I take that as a good thing because I take it that it means that my quad's a little stronger, so knee's not going off track as much as it should. And yeah, it hurts now, but I got all night to rest it up and I'll be ready for tomorrow.
If you compare my knee, I don't have a gap right there, but she's kind of chewed away the bone and
cartilage, and yeah, it's kind of gross. See, and if you want the comparison just for argument's sakes, yeah, this is my other knee. There's no hole. You can't do something like this without it being difficult. And you know, success comes from hard work and a little pain. We're gonna have some pain.
Ironically enough, it came from the training that caused the injury.
Yeah.
I've been on anti-inflammatories all day, really strong ones, and I took a T3 about an hour and a half ago at the last stop, so I'm all right.
Don't we do a big climb tomorrow? Don't we do
That's Rogers Pass. That's day 3, buddy.
Oh, sweet. Tomorrow's easy?
Tomorrow will be a happy day.
Nice.
How long?
Tomorrow, I believe, is 150 kilometers, give or take, and for the most part, it's downhill. Like if you look at the elevation charts that we've set out for ourselves, we're all right. We're going to rain tomorrow, but it says the wind is calm.
That's fine.
We like calm wind.
Well, we are in the Rockies, so I mean, weather can change in 5 minutes. So, I mean, that's just part of the excitement of the whole thing. Is
it was beautiful today too.
Yeah, no, it was perfect conditions, even in spite of the wind. But it could all change tomorrow or stay the same. We don't know.
You are so beautiful.
Day one of the Western Ride ends as it will almost every night with a fundraising performance by Calgary's Brian Bailey and the Circus. Brian is the singer and guitarist. Derek Pulliam, or Pulley, plays bass. And Brent Williams, or Tink, is on drums. After months of planning every detail, Nancy Bacon can't quite rest.
The elevation set on her computer.
It's the biggest number in the center.
Biggest number in the center.
0. 1440.
Okay, so 1440, this says we should be at 1380, so we're off by 60. That's lovely. Higher by 60, which means we're going to be there at 850 meters. So yeah, we're going down 600 meters today. It's going to be a great day.
Not at all.
Great day for you. All right. Well, we're going to be going back up it tomorrow, but that's okay. We don't look at tomorrow. We're looking at today. And we'll have sunshine tomorrow too, so it'll be nicer.
Unable to alter the rise and fall of the terrain ahead of them, she nonetheless still needs to know their elevation so as to gauge their progress as they continue to make their way into the mountains. As Nancy, Pat, and Brad head out of Banff, rain will be an almost constant companion in the early hours of day 2. To prevent various forms of wildlife from getting into the town, there's a cattle grid in this road. It's wet and slippery, but Nancy and Pat cross easily if carefully. Brad, however, is wearing cycling shoes with a special metal plate in their soles. Designed to work with a clipless pedal, the plate means Brad's shoes have virtually no grip on the metal grid, and so he takes extra care crossing this barrier. As the road rises toward Lake Louise, where they will not stop, Brad, Nancy, and Pat settle into an easy pace, as do Sam and Tova in the RV. The driver for the camera crew, Calgary actor Joel Smith, is getting used to following the riders at slow speed, ignoring the semis as they race past in the rain. Yesterday, Nancy said she expects a little pain. Perhaps that's for the future. Today, during a relatively flat section of highway, they will have time to think about why they are out here in the rain.
I think the biggest shock for me is the frequency that is popping up now. When I first started here, it was 4 to 5 out of every 10,000 births. And the data that we use, or the statistic we use, is 1 in 300 nationally. The Center of Disease Control is using 1 in 167 births right now. So that's shocking in terms of the increase in the frequency and the resultant inability for people to determine the cause.
In simple terms, I'm a psychologist and Director of Treatment Services at Society for Treatment of Autism. And what I do each day is try to maintain the integrity of the program that's provided to all the children that we serve, which includes our early intervention program and our residential program, which is the program that's going to be benefited by the Western Ride. And I've been working for Society for Treatment of Autism in this role for 22 years. But it's interesting because I was a psychologist in British Columbia prior to that and had worked with many children that I would now know that they had autism who hadn't been diagnosed. And that's one of the things that I think we're seeing now with the increase in incidence is that the symptoms and the signs of autism are being recognized a lot earlier and in a broader context, so that children who might have formerly been called mentally retarded are now getting an appropriate label, more in tune with their needs.
Well, our building's approximately 60 years old, and we've gone through 2 previous incarnations in terms of renovations, surface work, that kind of thing. Right now, our mission is to really gut the wings where the children live, bring them up to code, comfort, safety, create a real nice, warm living environment for the children, a place that their parents can be really comfortable in leaving them, and a nice environment for our staff to work in. So we're actually taking them down to the studs, redoing the heating system, air conditioning, flooring, you name it, everything. When she first approached us, I thought, oh God, here we go again. because frankly, I've probably been approached 20 times over the years. The reason we got involved with Nancy was that unfailing determination that she has, and she was just so upbeat and positive about it. You definitely knew that this just wasn't a flaky idea. This was something that she planned on doing, and we were either going to be a part of it or we weren't going to be a part of it. And I think that if we had decided not to be a part of it, she'd still be doing it.
Your socks are now officially like, I'm going to wring them out. Hold on a sec.
Hold their wool.
Will they wring out?
Yeah. That was awesome.
That was freaking awesome.
That hill was awesome.
Yeah, that was a good adrenaline rush.
I don't know how much is going to ring out of this, but yeah, there we go.
Well, there's a lot of challenges. We're at top speed, going downhill. All of a sudden, there's a washout of gravel, and road bikes aren't made to warble at fast speeds.
But those semis coming down that last bridge there, it came a little close and my back tire started wobbling. I was in about 2 seconds of trouble there, but that's okay. That was a good woohoo. And now I'm taking Tylenol 3s, which you're not allowed to take when you're on the road or operating a cycle, but...
At this point, still early in the journey, no one is questioning if the painkillers Nancy is taking are having any negative impact on her. It seems fairly straightforward. It's part of today's modern medicine and presents a direct opposite example to the mystery of autism. In this case, if there is pain, there is a pill, and everything is, temporarily, better.
By all intents and purposes, we shouldn't be able to complete it in the time frame that we're setting out, but we're going to try it anyways, and we're quite confident that we can do it. And I think that's what really draws the attention and makes it interesting.
Go, girl. Low by.
Huh?
Low by. Low. Smoke past it.
Smoke past.
Right now. Like, leave us in the dust right now.
There's a real difference between traveling on a bicycle and traveling in a car. In a car, you kind of are in this bubble, and you've got a safety zone, and you're traveling along, listening to your radio, and the scenery just flies on by, and sometimes you get a chance to check it out. But when you're on a bike, you get a real sensation of all the elements, the rain, the temperature changes.
They have crossed into British Columbia and have reached the first major landmark in their journey, the story of Kicking Horse Pass, which dates back to the 1880s and the construction of the Transcontinental Railway. This is also the Continental Divide. From here, all streams and rivers flow west to the Pacific.
Convoy of trucks coming down on your left, fellas.
Hey guys, I got a little convoy of trucks coming through here. Keep spinning, 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 spinning.
Red truck, green light, yellow sun is shining so bright. And it's time for a change. And if a trail is moving so slow, hit the highway and it's off I go. And it's time for a change. Well, it's time for making changes.
I like day one much better than today, except for the scenery. Scenery was good.
Different challenges today. Today we had to deal with the elements, had to deal with road construction, poor shoulders, no shoulders,
Semi trucks.
flat tires.
We had a flat tire, and then at the top of one of those horrible
However,
hills.
the best part of today was we were flagged down. A motorist stopped on some rest stop, flagged us down, and handed us $40.
I was not positioning my leg correctly as I was going up and down, and it was putting undue strain on the outer portion of my knee. And as soon as I corrected my posture, it corrected itself. However, like when I get tired, I get sloppy, and then I get bad posture, and then I can feel it. You can feel the strain, but then when you correct it and you've got everything vertical and there's a pillar of strength there, then it's not so bad. But like I say, when we hit that last hill, anything you can do to just get up the hill, and posture just kind of goes by the wayside. But I think we all try to keep it on our minds, and the more we think about it, the better chances we are of making this thing, because we're just more efficient.
It's very frustrating because you spend so many months training and you have the energy to do it, and then all of a sudden you start pushing it and you want to use some of that energy, and your knee starts